So, there are some foods that don't work for everyone. You may have heard your neighbor rave about how amazing they feel after taking out gluten, or the girl whose acne went away when she stopped eating dairy products. The recipes provided in the Mood Diet are all free of gluten, dairy, refined sugar, refined flours, and vegetable oils. It is possible, however, that there is a food that you're eating which isn't agreeing with you. It could be because this food is triggering an inflammatory response in your body somehow, either through creating inflammation in the gut or creating dysbiosis in the bacteria in your intestines or creating an allergic or immune reaction in your body. All of our bodies are different and we all thrive with different foods. Sometimes can be really helpful to do a deep dive into what foods your body thrives on and what foods don't make you feel good. So, how do food sensitivities cause inflammation? Well, we know that 70% of our immune system is located in the gut, and our gut is also known as the second brain. And neural impulses from the gut travel to the brain, and neurochemicals like serotonin are made in the gut. So, think of the gut as a space that's actually outside of the body. And this seems strange because we ingest food. It seems like we're putting the food into our bodies, but that food does not actually enter our bodies until it's broken down and absorbed by the cells of the digestive tract. Our digestive system is a long tube that starts in the mouth and ends in the anus. When your dog eats something he shouldn't, say a tampon or a piece of plastic or something like that, we expect that something to end up in his poop. He doesn't actually digest and absorb it into his body, hopefully, as his digestive system is still the outside world. The cells that line our guts are long and tubular. They have microvilli, or long fingers that extend along their outside membrane to enhance surface area and absorption. All the components of our foods, so carbohydrates, fats, nutrients, amino acids from protein, are broken down and absorbed in very specific ways. This process is tightly regulated so that our bodies don't end up absorbing things that they shouldn't. Cells are connected by tight junctions so that whole pieces of food can't get into the body. And every now and then, however, the immune system samples a piece of food we eat so that it can learn about the outside environment and train the immune cells on how to deal with them, sort of like a kind of military training. And food sensitivities, ingesting a food that causes an immune reaction in your body, can cause tight junctions to break down, and that can cause a condition called leaky gut, or more scientifically, intestinal permeability, where the gut is no longer able to regulate how food gets absorbed. Whole pieces of food can then enter the body and the bloodstream. The immune system starts to attack them. These antigens, or bad guys, combine with antibodies and they can float around in the bloodstream, ending up in joints or organs that the immune system starts attacking. This keeps the immune system in attack mode, causing chronic inflammation and over time, possible autoimmune disease, where the body starts to attack its own cells. Gluten, we always talk about, and gliadin, the protein found in wheat, rye, and barley, has been shown to increase a molecule called zonulin, and zonulin regulates tight junctions. So more zonulin equals looser tight junctions. Looser tight junctions equals leaky gut. And leaky gut results in chronic inflammation. So, this process happens in everyone's digestive system. However, gluten can trigger zonulin more strongly in some people versus others. This explains why some people can digest gluten while others can't, and it also explains why gluten is one of the core foods that causes food sensitivities and leaky gut. People can react to any number of foods, though. The most common ones are gluten, but there's also cow's dairy, corn, soy, and peanuts. Celiac disease, I'm just going to add, is a little bit different than gluten sensitivity. In celiac disease, the immune system attacks a protein in the body that processes gluten. This process destroys the microvilli in the intestine, resulting in chronic inflammation and issues with digestion and nutrient absorption. Celiac disease is an autoimmune disease that is triggered directly by consuming gluten, and individuals with celiac disease need to completely avoid gluten. Their condition is officially diagnosed with an intestinal biopsy, but you can also weed it out via blood tests that look at specific antibodies in the blood. There are also genetic markers that can point to an individual's personal risk of developing or inheriting celiac disease. And just because you don't have celiac disease doesn't mean that you're fine with gluten, because as we know, gluten can increase zonulin levels, which can cause leaky gut and intestinal permeability and inflammation. Food allergies are different than food sensitivities. An allergy results in an immediate reaction to a food, often resulting in hives, itchiness, or in extreme cases, life threatening anaphylaxis, requiring you to carry around an EpiPen. Food intolerances don't involve the immune system, but contain components, usually carbohydrates, that the body can't digest, resulting in gut symptoms like gas, bloating, and diarrhea. A food sensitivity is an inflammatory reaction to a food that can occur days to weeks or even months after ingestion of the food. It has the potential to cause leaky gut or intestinal permeability and systemic inflammation, things like mental health conditions or migraines, arthritis, and other inflammatory conditions. And I highly recommend learning about food sensitivities. And if you want to learn more about them and how to perform an elimination diet, check out the course that I have linked below, the guide to food sensitivities and inflammation diets. It's just $27, and it will guide you through what a food sensitivity is, how it differs from an allergy or intolerance, what foods to isolate, how long to remove them for, the reintroduction process and maintenance phase. And it's a complete how to support guide to support you through the exploration process of figuring out what foods work for you and your body.